Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna talk to you today about how Hong Beom-Do has been returned to South Korea, and they recently had a funeral for him. His remains have been returned to South Korea, and he is buried at the Daejeon National Military Cemetery. And I firmly believe that's where he needs to be. The president of Kazakhstan, President Tokayev, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. He recently had a state visit to Korea, and he had helped dig up Hong Beom-Do's remains and move those remains to Korea. But he did bring a jar of soil from Kazakhstan and poured some soil over the casket before Hong Beom-Do was laid to rest in South Korea. Now, let's talk about who he was. Hong Beom-Do was a freedom fighter for South Korea when Japan had occupied Korea. And Japan occupied Korea from 1910 to 1945. But Hong Beom-Do fought with Korean independence fighters against the Japanese, and in 1920, and before that, he actually won many key battles against the Japanese forces. But the Japanese forces eventually pushed him and his forces out of Korea, and this group went into exile, and they were going to form an army and return and try to liberate Korea. Well, they set up shop in the Soviet Union for the longest time, but Josef Stalin had maintained neutrality with Japan. He fought against Germany in World War II, but he originally was on Germany's side, but he had always maintained neutrality with Japan because at one point Japan tried to invade the Soviet Union and they were crushed badly. And so Joseph Stalin and Japan worked out a neutrality agreement in the Pacific War, and the Soviet Union did not enter the Allies' side in the Pacific War until almost till mid-1945. Well, Hong Beom-Do and his group of fighters were forced out of the Soviet Union, and they were in Kazakhstan. They went to Kazakhstan, and that's where Hong Beom-Do had passed away, was in Kazakhstan. And he was buried there. But now his remains have been dug up and returned to South Korea, and I firmly believe that's where he wants to be, would want to be buried. And the Daejeon National Military Cemetery is going to have another grave where many people are going to want to visit. It's an excellent cemetery. I've been there several times. It was a small service due to the COVID-19 restrictions. The head of the opposition party was there. Also, President Moon Jae-in was there. South Korea's prime minister was there, and I believe his wife, South Korea's first lady, was there as well. So, God bless South Korea. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.